So we are beginning with our first keynote, and the keynote speaker is my dear friend and COO of Unstoppable Domains, Sandy Carter. I don't think I need to introduce her more, so over to you, Sandy.
Thank you so much, Ajit. And it's not a keynote, it's a welcome, is what you said, right? A welcome. So how's everybody doing? I have to say, I'm really excited about the momentum that we've seen with Web3 here at Davos. I don't know, have you guys caught some of the news? Anybody caught some of the news that's been happening? So the first one, that I think is really pretty cool is, for the first time, the USA House is here. And we had a couple of sponsors. Two of those were crypto companies. So right beside Microsoft and Pfizer, did anybody see it? Anybody know who it was? Ripple. Ripple was right up there with mainstream companies like Web2, traditional, amazing companies that were out there. And then Hedera. Do we have anybody from Ripple in the room, by the way, to congratulate? No. Hedera, anybody from Hedera in the room? Because they also played a sponsorship role in the USA Today House, as well as GBBC's blockchain house as well. So again, I think those are really good signs of what's happening with Web3 in the marketplace, and in particular in Davos. I think it's really cool that we have those there. When Web3 companies can stand shoulder to shoulder with some of these massive companies like Pfizer and Microsoft, like who would have ever thought that 3 years ago, 4 years ago? I wouldn't have. You would have guessed that? There you go. Okay. Well, you're better than me, that's for sure. And then I'm also a Forbes contributor. So by the way, if you do have any great Web3 news, blockchain news, crypto news here, let me know, because I'm going to do another article. But I also got to talk to the folks in Bermuda. Did you guys hear about Bermuda? Much warmer, but it's super cool. Yeah, they're going to become the world's first on-chain national economy. So that's really cool, I think. So Circle and Coinbase are working with them to not do this in pilot, but to roll this out nationally. Anybody here from Coinbase or Circle? Are you with Coinbase? Yeah? So I think that was really interesting news too. And, as I was reviewing with my Forbes editor, she goes, this is really cool. And I don't usually get that a lot from the Forbes editor about a lot of the Web3 and blockchain stuff. So I thought that was cool. And then the last one is, if you had a white badge, the World Economic Forum this year, for the first time, has 2 crypto sessions. And I just want to read them out for you. One of them is called, Is Tokenization the Future? And one of them is called, Where Are We on Stablecoins? It's the first time ever that the World Economic Forum has had 2 sessions on topics that involve us in Web3. So I think there's a lot to celebrate here. And I think this is part of the reason that Ajit is so focused on Web3 and creates this Web3 house, this Web3 community here at Davos, DavosWeb3, is because he foresaw all the successes that we were going to have as well. So let's thank Ajit for having the foresight to set this up. And to, yes, and your colleague, come up. Now that was like what we would call like a wimpy clap. Let's do a great big clap for these guys, because I think this is pretty awesome. So, if we think about where is the future of Web3 going, I think there is a lot of great potential, not just in payments and stable coins. Oh, I forgot to mention, yesterday I was invited to the Semaphore and Wall Street Journal House, and Bank of America. You guys know Bank of America? They're really large in the U.S. They talked about stable coins. And then today I was at the Swedish lunch. In fact, that's why I was late coming here, because I couldn't get by because of all the blockage for Trump. The Swedish lunch talked about blockchain, Web3, and crypto in their roundtables as well, which, again, I thought was pretty amazing. So what we want to do here today is you're going to have a very short program. And the reason that we've set it up that way is so that we can get to know each other and network and continue to build in everything that we're doing. After the panel, and we've got Yatsui closing, so he'll do the closing remarks for us. But make sure you get to know someone that you haven't met before. Make sure you get to know a company that you haven't chatted with before. And 100% come and talk to me about unstoppable domains, okay? Before you leave. And then when will we sign the declaration?
So there are two important events. The declaration is right here. So every year we sign a Davos declaration, which is promoting ethics and inclusivity. Anybody who wants to be a signatory is welcome to come over, and we'll be taking your picture along with that. That's happening around 5 o'clock. Second important news is that Unstoppable Domains and DavosWeb3 have joined hands in coming up with a new domain name extension. So if you were xyz.com or xyz.io, now you can be xyz.web3. So the .web3 TLD has been released as a joint venture between DavosWeb3 and Unstoppable Domains. So get your domain name before it's too late.
And I think that's really cool to know that .web3 is one of our fastest growing new TLDs, what we call a top-level domain, which is like a .com or a .crypto. Web3 is doing exceptionally well, thanks to Ajit and his amazing team that has been doing a lot of great marketing around that too. Okay, so are you guys ready to get going with the panel? Yes. Yeah, let's do it.